The world is slowly losing respect for the United States of America. And this last video that Iran put out proves it. So Iran just dropped another Lego video. And this video is more disrespectful than the last video. I can't even explain it. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Pay attention. No king just happened this weekend. Listen.
Sir, Iranians have released a new Lego-style animation. No!
They violating.
There was also a Lego video, music video, another one that was released before or after the letter to the American people from the Iranian president. The reason they release Lego animated videos is because they think that's the only way that Donald Trump will understand. So they've made Lego videos, and I'm going to share a Lego video. This president, who a lot of us didn't want him to be our president again, was elected because he ran on no new wars. And then he goes and starts one, and no one knows the reason why. And I think that him stating, they're in talks for peace, and then contradicting himself in the same speech, saying that he's going to bomb them back into the Stone Ages, I don't think that sits very well with any government. Which one is it? But this Lego video is something to, once again, I just took a little snippets that were specifically pertaining to our country, because they also do have little Lego animated people in about Israel. I mean, they're not wrong that he can definitely understand this video. I'm sure him sitting in yesterday on that Supreme Court justice hearing was totally over his head. They were using big people words. They were using lawyer words. They were using judge words. They were talking about the law. He don't know nothing about the law except for how to break it and get away. That's all. But watch this Lego video. A man who ran on no new wars. We're in a war, and this is their response.
Donald Trump is about to give his presidential address about a Lego video. Now, I have no clue who Haider is, but you can tell the Iran. And right before he does, Iran launched an attack against Tel Aviv, and they've dropped another.
This is sarcastic, hilarious, it's paradox, it is wicked fun. I guess I need to call the Pope in here. We need to pray.
Why is Iran so funny, bro? Taping pictures of Tupac to missiles sent for Israel. Like, oh my God. One guy got on TV and was like, this isn't Operation Epic Fury, it's Operation Epic Fail. That was genius. They're funny, bro. Why are they so funny? Don't get me wrong. Iran is run by a terrorist regime. It is. 1000%. They took over in the 70s, and it's been that way ever since. However, we kind of put them in charge. That was kind of our bad. There's like a whole history to it, okay? They used to be a democratic society, and then we messed that up for them. So everyone is kind of like, it's a regime. But so are we. We are also a regime. I'm not saying that like they're cool, yay, yay, but I'm also not all about us either, like cool, yay, yay. We're not really cool, yay, yay right now. What I do like about Iran is that they make a differentiation between our government and the people of the United States. And they are calling to the people of the United States to rise up against to like do something. And they say that we know that you are not your government. They're literally giving us that credit. You know, it's really hard this is hard. This is hard.
Why is Iran so good at trolling? They just dropped another Lego diss track that's pretty much a banger. It was targeting Pete Hegseth. One of my mutuals, King Triv, he posted it this morning, so go check it out. I mean, they keep releasing these bangers, and the thing that makes me kind of sad and depressed, I think Iran might be our only hope to get the files. Like, truly, they keep teasing it. They hacked into Cashtel emails. That might be legitimately the only way the world actually gets to see the actual files released. Because it ain't coming from America, I'll tell you that.
reported this shit early on my page, but I had to take it down because they was not letting it go through. But that fighter jet dropped. We lost one service member. There is another service member running for their fucking life. The United States has said they're searching for them. How the fuck are you gonna get them? We can't put boots on the ground. That is my question. How the fuck are you gonna get that service member? And baby, it is rumored to say that an Iranian media has said that civilians can go out there and get this man if they want him. I hope this service member is safe, but knowing this administration, they gonna fuck this up too. I just thought about something. This administration ain't said shit about this fighter jet being taken down. There has not been nobody come to a podium saying we are actively looking for the service member. There's nothing going on. And you want to know why? They ain't got nobody no more. The whole cabinet is basically about to be cleaned the fuck out. And Hegseth, you need to go ahead and pack your shit up because you about to be gone too.
I'm not trying to be non-patriotic, but this loser with ashes like Trump. Now this is the part that I saw before this crazy. So they look like they're having a poker game, and this side is all America side with jokers, and then the other side of the game is Iran. So it's got disarming Israel, $300 oil, U.S. regional exit, and I think the other part is closing of Hamas. Wild.
Ooh, it's time for another Lego banger. Are you ready? Oh, I get so excited when the Lego movies come out. Look at the state of me. Anyway, listen, let me get my glasses. I'm all ready. Are you? Grab your chai, grab your snacks. Lego, let's go.
The Iranians have become a master at trolling Donald Trump with Lego movies. Short, sweet, something that he'll watch because it's a cartoon and right there with his mentality. The newest one is very timely. It just came out last night, and it talks about everything that happened in the United States this weekend. The No King's Day protests, the U.S. Air Force aircraft that cost $270 million that got destroyed in Saudi Arabia, and so much more. Let's take a glance at some of what they're talking about.
Yo, I don't know how to show you this and tell you that it's real, but this is actually real. So the Trump Lego diss tracks that Iran propaganda machine is pumping out, like, take a look at this one. I just cannot believe this is real life at the moment.
Y'all, Iran made a Lego movie and it is hitting Black Americans right in the feels. And here's why that is not by accident. So on March 24th of this year, right, 2026, the official Telegram channel of Iran's Revolutionary Guard dropped a 54-second AI-generated Lego movie called One Vengeance for All. Oh, you ain't seen it yet? Roll that beautiful bean footage. So in this video, we saw Lego Native Americans. We saw Lego Africans in chains. We saw the bombing of Hiroshima. We saw Yemen, Vietnam, Gaza, and the Epstein files, bitch. And then it ends with an Iranian missile striking the Statue of Liberty, whose head has been replaced with a demon. Now, we know the original Statue of Liberty was a black woman, but that one that they got up there, that ain't a black woman. That's a white woman. They didn't traded her out. So I'm okay. We'll allow it. The Black delegation will allow. And the final words on screen are one vengeance for all. Baby, that video was not random. Every single victim group that was represented in that video was chosen to speak directly to Americans who do not trust our own government and never have. This is called information warfare, and Iran is winning. Just like I told y'all, Iran already won this war before it started, and this is one of the very ways in which they're doing it. Because here's the deal. When the United States, right, and is not real, bombed Iran's girls' children's school in the middle of peace negotiation talks, killing their supreme leader, Iran knew that they couldn't out-weapon the United States of America, but they had a plan. A meme war, bitch. So while the United States is posting video game clips and celebrating their missile strikes, Iran is making a narrative, which isn't really hard because America's entire history has handed them the ammunition. They are writing the narrative and telling the story that says they are not fighting for themselves. Iran is not just fighting for Iranians. They are fighting for everyone who the United States of America has harmed, has hurt, has victimized. And that hits a little bit different when you're looking at enslaved Lego Africans with chains around their wrists, of which you are descended from, standing next to an Iranian flag. They know what they're doing. But I need y'all to understand that this is why media literacy matters, okay? Because Iran knows what they're doing. This is propaganda. Full stop. That's what it is. And we know that Iran is not innocent. Iran is not without blame. That government and that certain supreme leader, although has shown solidarity with Black Americans, has also victimized and assassinated, killed its own citizens, protesters, tens of thousands of their own people in the streets. They have oppressed their own ethnic and religious minorities. This is a fact. It cannot be said that Iran is not strategically smart. They're using Native American, Indigenous American, and Black Americans' pain that we have been through, that our ancestors have been put through in this country, as a recruitment tool for sympathy so that we all work together against our common enemy. So where we are right now is that the USA just sent a 15-point peace plan to Iran, and Iran said no. They rejected it. And Iran sent back a 5-point counter offer, including reparations and sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. And so Trump extended his deadline to bomb Iranian energy plants until April 6th. That's a week away. Negotiations are currently happening through the middleman, which is Pakistan. Trump says that the talks are going great, but neither one of these nations trust each other, and analysts are already warning that if Trump does not reach some sort of conclusion, that we could be pulled into an in-ground invasion. Them Iranian mountains is gonna swallow us whole, bitch. And it is confirmed that 13 U.S. service members are already dead. And there have been over 72,000 Palestinians killed since October of 2023. We know that Gazans are still being blown up, and now Iranians and Lebanese and Sudanese and Congolese, listen, the clock is ticking, and we're looking at Lego movies that are begging us to have solidarity against a common enemy, even if that enemy is the nation that we reside in. I don't know, bitch, but as a Black American, I kind of want to see the empire fall. That's just me. Because when has this ever been a nation that has given us love? When have we not had to fight for our right to exist and be free and have equal rights in this nation as Black Americans? They still don't want to give us reparations, bitch, but they fought tooth and nail to get Germany to pay reparations to the survivors of the Holocaust. Where's ours? Why are we not allowed to talk about racism and anti-Blackness and white supremacy? We're still battling those very things in this nation. And so, I don't know, that little Lego movie kind of hit me in the heart. It hit me in the feels. And I kind of stand with the oppressed people. All I'm saying is, bitch, this is one hell of a show. And it is having real life consequences, and we're watching it in real time. And Iran knows exactly what they're doing and who they are trying to reach.
All right, let's talk about how this war is literally like the Drake and Kendrick beef, and I'm not exaggerating. If Donald Trump is Drake and Israel is J. Cole and Iran is Kendrick, tell me that doesn't sound familiar. Y'all remember when First Person Shooter dropped? It was like Trump and Israel, let's flexing their power together, showing dominance, calling all the shots. Then Iran, like Kendrick, and they dropped like that. It dropped this like that moment. And it calls out the hypocrisy, making it clear this isn't about one verse. It's about the story behind it. The Epstein files. We all know that. And Iran was one of the first countries to actually, as a government, call that out. All of a sudden they became a threat, right? So the U.S. and Israel responds, like they bombing, doing peace talks. When things were cool, they drop bombs. This is their push-ups, their tailor-made freestyle era, like big power moves, lots of noise, pure confidence. They think that they've ended it by claiming Iran's nuclear sites are gone, and it was the so-called knockout punch. I remember Trump was bragging like, hey, we crushed them. We totally over-liberated them. That didn't happen. Because y'all know Iran flipped the beat with this euphoria move. It's not just a response, but a message. You don't get why this is happening, but we do. And then they hit back at every U.S. ally, anybody that had a United States base. They and still with Israel, they attacked them. It was like economic warfare, cyber strikes, regional attacks. That's their version of 616 in LA. Just the mind games, just like letting them know, like, listen, y'all don't want to do this. Y'all need to quit. He tried to warn you. You got some snakes in your den, and that they didn't stop. So the U.S.
they drop their family matters, right? They're like defending itself, justifying everything. They were so close to coming up with a nuclear weapon. If it wasn't for us, the whole world would have been destroyed. And then Iran was just like, nah, dude, this is about you and your pedophile class. Like, just trying to distract from that and trying to keep all of that. This is Meet the Grams, right? Like it exposed the entire system. It flipped the narrative. It isolated the United States from its allies because they took over the Strait of Hormuz, and they're not going to let anybody have oil. And people don't realize how important oil plays into our everyday lives. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But the not like us moment was when they were just like, listen, we want Israel to free Palestine, and we want the United States out of the Middle East. That's the not like us. They not like us. They shouldn't be here. Kick their asses out. And they also took the U.S. petrodollar and just made it useless. So now other countries who need the oil that's coming from there are starting to pay in the Chinese yen, which is I guess an enemy of the United States. It's a competitor with the United States, and it gives them more power, right? That's crazy. They changed the whole game. Like this is long term. Everything that happened from this is gonna happen long term. And now we got Donald Trump talking about he's going to pull out. Like he's just like, no matter what happens, I'm going to get us out of this. And we'll just figure it out from there. That's the hard part 6. Come on now. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. And what's sad is y'all know what happened to Drake after he engaged in battle and it didn't work out. He lost credibility. Like, I mean, he could still work with people. Like, it's not like that the dude doesn't have talent or a lot to offer, but you know, he's kind of a liability now. And you know, he keeps hinting about what he's going to do, and he's going to drop the Iceman, and he's going to do all of that. But really, who cares? There's not a lot of Drake fans out there anymore. I mean, they're out there. There's some Drake stands out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, they probably got red hats on. But I bet if you took a poll of the people in the United States, and when you hear stories and things coming out and you ask them who they believe, do they believe what's coming out of the White House right now or what's coming out of Iran? I bet over 60% of them will believe what's coming out of Iran more than what they believe is coming out of the White House. That's the United States standing in the world has been reduced a lot, and it's really sad, and it's playing out just like that. But I'm sure there's other comparisons. Like we could talk about, you know, how Israel is J. Cole, and you know, remember we were looking for Netanyahu. What happened to J. Cole? J. Cole just went silent. J. Cole just went silent. Yeah, because J. Cole don't really want the smoke. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stretching it, but let me know what y'all think. And yeah. Remember Drake was like, drop. Iran dropped it, you know.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.